Hi guys, this is EBPMAN with tabletsforme.com, and what we're going to do is a hardware comparison between first generation Galaxy Note and the second generation Galaxy Note. Let's see how they are different. So let's take a look at the back, in the inside of the phone from looking at it from the back perspective, because there are some significant changes. First thing, let's focus on the fact that your SIM card is different. You have a standard SIM and you have a micro SIM. This is not a nano SIM. So the nano SIM is what the iPhone uses. This is the micro SIM. Standard SIM, you can see it's much larger than the one that you have here. You do have in both of these phones the ability to have expandable storage, so these will support 32 gigabyte cards. But the most significant thing here is the size of the battery. And some say that the larger battery was needed on the Note 2 due to the larger screen, but still, nevertheless, you could expect some very decent battery life with the fact that this is a 3100 milliamp battery versus a 2500 milliamp battery. So difference in capacity for the battery, which is very welcome for a device this large. Both phones have styluses. You see here's a stylus for one, and here's the stylus for the second. There have been some changes to the stylus, and we'll see if that will come up in the video. We have, you notice that the stylus is longer. That's the first thing. You also notice that the stylus is wider, so it makes it easier to hold. It is also flat. It has kind of a flatness to it. It's not 100% flat, but you'll notice that this one's a round stylus, and this one you notice that one side of it is flat, and it has kind of a curvature on the back. And it does make it easier to hold, and the fact that it is larger also makes it easier to hold. So definite differences there when it comes to the styluses. The other thing that you'll notice that is different, well, it's not apparent, but you'll notice that there is some difference in the placement of the actual SIM and the micro SD card. Not that significant, obviously, to accommodate the smaller size SIM. There were some changes there. But for the most part, they look pretty much the same. If we look on the side and we compare them side to side, you'll notice that the actual Galaxy Note 1 is wider, or I'm sorry, thicker than the actual Galaxy Note 2. You can see that. You can also notice that if I were to put them side by side, and I'm trying to align them as perfectly as I can, the power button has shifted down somewhat. If we look at the top, you'll notice here that your microphone, or actually your headphone jack, has also shifted. So it was here, now it's further over to the left. And if we go on this side, you'll also notice, again trying to line the bottom, that your volume rocker has shifted down. So that is also a change in the placement. On the bottom, you have pretty much the placement of your micro SD is still the same. And one thing that I failed to mention on the back is that your speaker is still in the same place. The front of the phone, we'll notice that there are some differences. Both of these are AT&T phones. One of the things is that the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 has adopted its, I say, characteristics from its European brother. And the European version always had this center button that you can click on that would give you the ability to go home. And in the US version, you had the home button here. So that has changed from one version to the other. I actually prefer the physical button than these type of buttons on the phone. You'll also notice that while they almost look similar in size, the Galaxy Note 2 does have a larger screen, but it's also narrower. So this is a longer phone. It's not as boxy as this version is, and the screen is actually a little bit larger. So what you're looking at is a 5.3-inch screen on the Note 1, and on the Note 2, you're looking at a 5.5. Now, from a weight perspective, these phones, there's not a lot of difference. We're talking about 6.28 ounces for this phone, and then you're looking at 6.35 on this one. So while this one's heavier, and I would say it's probably heavier because of the battery that it has, there's not much of a difference when it comes to the physical weight itself. It's really the dimensions of the phone. Both of them have a similar screen from as far as a Super AMOLED screen, and both of them come, in this case, these are both 16 gig models, but the Galaxy Note 2 comes in 32 and 64 gig. One of the things I had mentioned, and I think I mentioned it incorrectly, is that we do have SD cards in the back. that can be inserted. This one will only support a 16 gig, actually I'm sorry, a 32 gig SD, and this one will support all the way up to a 64 gigabyte SD. The cameras on the back are both 8 megapixel, so no real change there. Now the front-facing cameras that you use if you're doing video chat, this one has a 2 megapixel camera, and I don't know why the specs come up as a 1.9. Not quite 2, but I don't know if that will be anything that you'll be able to notice as far as difference goes. The software inside is different, as this one has yet to be updated to Jelly Bean. This is using the Jelly Bean operating system. If we were to look at the actual cases themselves, the cases themselves are pretty similar. They're made of the same material, that plasticky material that either you hate or you love, and they are placed in the same way. You'll notice that the cutouts are similar, but because of the longer length of the Note 2, you just can't switch them, which means also your case, any kind of accessories that you have for one version versus the other, you're going to have to get new accessories. But the cutouts are pretty similar, the placement of the camera, the placement of the flash, and also the placement of the microphone. You'll see that most of that, actually speaker, is all in the same place. The last difference I'll mention about the phone that is significant is that onboard memory on these two devices is, there is a difference. One, the Galaxy Note 1 has 1 gigabyte of memory that is used for processing as you're using the phone, and this device, the Galaxy Note 2, has actually 2 gigs. There's also a difference in processors. You have a dual-core processor on the Galaxy Note 1, and it's running around 1.4 gigahertz, and then on the Galaxy Note 2, it's actually a quad-core at 1.6. And I can tell you, as I've been using the phones, there's a significant difference in how fast content comes up on this phone versus this one on the same network, be it AT&T or on the same Wi-Fi connection. So we'll take a look at more differences on the Galaxy Note 2, as well as some tips and tricks that you should take advantage of when using this device.